Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you here. And of course, we are here today to talk about Netflix. Yes, the shares of Netflix. What happened to the shares of Netflix during the pandemic? How did the pandemic affect the shares of Netflix? Now, if you remember in 2020, at about March period, more or less the whole world was on a lockdown. We had the global lockdown, and as we had the global lockdown, a lot of people were at home. And of course, due to social distancing, what else could they do? They could only stay glued to their series and movies. And of course, Netflix was the choice, right? Was the number one choice. Now, what happened to the shares of Netflix around that March area, right? If you look very well, what happened was that from the March area, as we have here, we had the shares do what? We had the shares appreciate tremendously, right? We had the shares appreciate tremendously from about 290 area here, from about 290 to about 580. That's about 100% increment within a short period of time. Within a few months, we had the Netflix boom. So that means that if you're on this train, you would have made a whole lot of money. Yes, you would have. But then something started to happen, right? When countries started to call off the lockdown, what started to happen? We started to see the shares of Netflix start to move in a sideways manner, right? So let's see the shares of Netflix start to move in a sideways manner because the subscriptions, the numbers of subscriptions had now dropped. And then, of course, it was dropping to the increase, drop, increase. And then we had this sideways movement for a lengthy period of time. And in this year, 2021, for the first quarter, Netflix, obviously, they are down. And of course, they have already said that it looks like it's going to be a bit tougher now, especially as the vaccination is ongoing and then there's improvement all over the world. Look at it this way. Based on what we're talking about here and then the shares of Netflix and what is happening now, you can see the market has been ranging for a little while. And of course, you need to always put in the fundamentals and of course the technicals into the mix. The fundamentals has to do with the effect of the lockdown. And you can see that there was a serious appreciation in the lockdown. And then of course, when the lockdown started to get called off all over in parts of the world, you can see it's said to move sideways. Now, if things should improve, listen to this carefully because you can use this to obviously make money. If things should start to improve with respect to the vaccination and of course the drop in the numbers and the pandemic starts to slow down tremendously, we should see what? We should see the numbers in subscriptions plunge and plunge and plunge some more. And if this happens, of course, we should see Netflix drop and then it might even break out of the range and maybe we could have a retest and then a further drop to the downside. Who knows? We might have this. Anything can happen. All we need to know is that for us to make money, we need to understand what is happening in the market. We need to understand what people are thinking. We need to understand how the market is more or less breathing, and then you'll be able to read the market just like a book. So now we've just been talking about during the lockdown, what happened during the lockdown and also after the lockdown. And of course, this could also help us to take advantage of this market. Now we're just going to call it a day from here. We like to keep things really, really simple and also allow you to do some thought process of your own. Now, if this video was helpful based on what we have just done over here, from when the lockdown started to when the lockdown was called off, and of course, if things still remain the same, and of course, vaccinations, and of course, the pandemic slows down and then gradually goes down, we should have people back to work. And then back to work means that they won't have as much time as before to subscribe to Netflix to watch their regular series and also their movies and so on. Even as a matter of fact, Netflix, they need to add more content if they're going to boost their shares, if they're going to help their shares to improve the more. They need to add more content to our viewership. So this was just a quick video just to enlighten people what happened during the lockdown period when the lockdown was called off globally, and of course what we could easily expect so that we can take advantage, right? The other things that obviously could spoil what could happen in the future. But for now, we leave it as is because of the information that we have. Now, if this video was helpful for you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit the subscribe button. It will help me, and of course it is good for the algorithm, and of course it will help others that are looking for videos like this. And of course, if you have questions, comment in the section below, and then we will help you out to understand the market better. We also have free mini courses that you can tune into to learn how to trade, whether it's the forex market or it's the equities market or it's the cryptocurrency market or whatever market whatsoever. It's in the description below. Thank you, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and of course, goodbye for now. Thank you.